Alright, it's Wednesday again, and we're back with a top 10. And this week, joining me is Nick. How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. So this week, we are going to do top 10 metal bands.
Yes.
So, a little caveat here. There is an age difference between you and I of about 18 years.
Yeah, that's correct.
So, our list might be very different.
Oh, very strongly they're going to be different.
But we might have some of the same.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's get into the Alright, so let's start our list. But first, let's get our honorable mentions. Who you got for honorable mention?
Well, I got Linkin Park for one.
Sheena and I discussed Linkin Park, and they are an honorable mention. Yeah. I think their earlier CDs.
Their first two albums were phenomenal, but after that they got a little weaker.
They did. They did.
Yep. My second one is System of a Down, actually.
I don't know much System of a Down. I know Chop Suey, and that's it.
Yeah, fair enough. My third would be Cannibal Corpse.
Cannibal Corpse is a metal band.
Yeah.
That they are. My honorable mention, and this is going to be whatever. I have to mention this. They didn't go on my list, but when you speak of metal, I think you have to talk about Black Sabbath.
That one I can agree. They did found the genre with Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin.
I agree. So they didn't make my top 10, but not because they're not, just because I think they don't go on the top 10 list. They are, like you said, they founded the genre.
Yeah.
So
it wouldn't be fair.
Right. Black Sabbath is the band. Probably without them, these bands wouldn't be around. Yeah. All right. So who you got at number 10?
I got and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but Apocalyptica.
Apocalyptica.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that do the? It's kind of like classical.
Yeah, they use cellos with like drums and guitar.
Yeah, I know them. They are very interesting.
Yeah, I find that's important with the experimentation because I think that's what we need more of is like classical mixed with like high tech, kind of like combining classical with new style like guitars, drums, synthesizers.
Right. So that brings up a good point. Right, metal doesn't have to be just hard guitar, hard drums, screaming. Like, it can branch out into other, softer, different types of instruments. So I like that one. That's a good one. My number 10 is Monster Magnet.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just really like them. I remember their Dopes to Infinity video coming on. Back in the day, it was called The Box, and it was a channel where everybody voted on the next video. But they're a pretty good band, and then they came in at number 10 for me.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along. Who do you got at number 9?
I actually got Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I got Pearl Jam. I actually think their first album was really phenomenal because it relayed into moments of insecurity, depression, even suicide with the song Jeremy about that kid who walked into his school and put a gun in his mouth and shot himself.
Yep, that was a very controversial video.
Yeah. I looked up the video about the parent there and it was... They don't know what to say about that. It was just... Yeesh.
That Pearl Jam, I have to say, they are a good band, and they didn't make my list, but they're definitely very good. My number 9 is actually Seven Dust.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I gotta admit, like, Black is a jam. Their new album was phenomenal as well.
I mostly know their earlier stuff. But I saw them in concert, and they rocked so hard.
Right.
They were so loud that you could feel the beat of the drum in your chest. It was like beating your heart. So, and they, I didn't go to see them. They opened for the band I was going to see, but they were phenomenal. So I have to give them the respect. So they got number 9 on my list.
I can agree with that.
All right. Who you got at number 8?
I actually have Lamb of God, formerly known as Burn the Priest.
Ooh, that band is hard.
I actually got to say it because the first time I heard them was on a game was the remake of Splatterhouse. I heard the song "Walk with Me in Hell," And I gotta say, the guitar and drum work was phenomenal, and I can't remember his name, it's Randy something.
The lead singer?
Yeah, the lead singer's name. And I love his grotto screams and his shrieks. It just all merges together into a perfect mixture of grindcore, deathcore, and I can even hear elements of thrash in there as well.
Oh, nice. And they're very heavy too.
Yeah.
At least their early stuff. I don't know about their newer stuff.
And the newer stuff is it's similar, but it's a little different.
All right, I have at number 9, White Zombie. Before Rob Zombie left the band, of course.
That one I can agree with. More Human Than Human, Thunder Kiss 65.
Yep.
Was a jam. Children of the Corn featuring Black Sabbath in there. That was phenomenal as well.
Yeah. The More Human Than Human, that song is just...
Yeah, I can agree to that one. I have that one on my playlist as well.
Oh yeah, I definitely have it on my playlist. Now that's not saying when he went on his own he wasn't good, but
I agree because "Living Dead Girl" is my personal favorite song, and I've loved that song for the past while. Because I know most people say Dracula, but "Living Dead Girl" just has much nostalgia to me.
I'm actually Super Beast.
I can agree to that one. That's a top 3 in my opinion.
In ECW, the wrestler Rhino used to come out to Super Beast, and that's what they called him, was Super Beast, and it was awesome. Nice. But so yeah, and White Zombie was kind of an earlier band too that kind of flew under the radar when they first come out.
Yeah, I really did love their experimentation with like glam metal, with a heaviness and shock rock. It felt like Marilyn Manson, but with more of a groovy feel to it.
Yeah, they had some punk elements into some of their songs too. So, and I think his voice is really good.
Yeah, I love Rob Zombie's voice.
All right, moving along.
Right.
Well, there's Sheena on the video. That was Sheena. She's angry because we replaced her this week. Coming in at number 7, who you got?
My personal favorite grunge band, Allison James.
Allison James. Yeah.
I actually got to say, I love the tracks Wood. It's from their single album in '92. It was phenomenal. Man the Boss was good. Down in the Hole was good. Rooster was good. I even got to say Angry Chair was good, which was the only song Wayne Staley wrote for the band.
92, you say?
Yeah, that's when they originally started, I believe, was in 92.
All right. We're going to take a little side quest here. What do you know about 92? Wasn't that a little bit before your time?
Yeah, that was a little bit before my time, but I also listened to a lot of music from the 90s, however.
All right. Well, that's good. You should expand your horizon and not just listen to what's now. But that's good. All right. And I agree. Allison James is, I would say, the best grunge band, but that's because I don't like Nirvana. I know that's
the same for me. I was debating Soundgarden for a little bit, but then I was like, Soundgarden's good, but they're not for me. I haven't sat down and listened to their albums like Allison Chains.
Right. All right. My number 7 is, and this is, I have to say this before I say the band's name. This is Early Work Only.
Okay.
Because when I say this band, there's a point in their career where I don't know what they were doing, and I thought it was terrible. So, Metallica. Their first albums were phenomenal. They had energy, they had anger, they had guitar, drums, and it was just...
I can agree for the first 3 albums. Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Master of Puppets were all phenomenal. I didn't really start to see a drop-off point until Load and Reload. Then I saw a slight decline in quality. But it wasn't that bad until we got to Saint Anger. Saint Anger is when it went to...
Well, I would say when Garage Inc.
I actually like some songs from Garage Inc. Like Turn the Page was good. Die Die My Darling wasn't bad.
We can agree to disagree on Turn the Page because I feel like the original is the best.
I agree to that. I just wouldn't announce it as utter garbage, though.
It's not garbage. It is their take on it, and it was different, But that's where I declined in them. But that's because I like their earlier, angrier stuff.
I can agree to that one.
Enter Sandman, Unforgiven. Yeah. Oh my goodness. One, if you've never listened to the song One, that is a masterpiece.
Yeah, also Fade to Black, Master of Puppets, yes. Battery.
Ride the Lightning, like you said.
Orion.
Right. See, these are the first 3 albums, and you could just
Oh yeah, I could
boom,
make
boom, boom, boom.
we could make a whole separate video about that there.
That's true. So that's why they made my list. But once they started, and earlier we were talking about Apocalyptica.
Yeah.
But I think Metallica missed it when they tried the symphony thing. It really just didn't work.
I agree on that one. I think it could have been better, but they kind of botched it.
Right. And, they lost a lot of their fans with the Napster thing. And, it is what it is. And, I understand. You get older, you don't have the same
anger
right.
you had before.
Well, and how are you angry? You're a millionaire.
That is true.
Right. When they were sleeping on their couches and living in a van and stuff, yeah, you're angry. You don't have anything. When you're a millionaire, well, as one of my favorite rappers, MGK says, how are you angry when all the bad stuff is created? Because once you're a millionaire, you have to create. You don't have problems. Your problem is the IRS is trying to tax you.
True.
Anyway, we'll move on. That's a lot. All right, coming in. Number 6. Who you got?
I got Shinedown, actually.
Shinedown.
Yeah. I actually gotta say the album Sound of Madness and Amaryllis were just phenomenal. Okay. And I even love their new album, Attention, Attention. Also, their single, Atlas Falls, for the charity to bring relief to the COVID respondents was just a very nice thing that I saw them do. So I think they do deserve more the attention they get, because they are one of the best mainstream bands in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I only know the Sound of Madness by Shinedown, but I love that song. That the opening drum on that song is phenomenal.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. You know the song 45, right?
No.
No, you do not? No.
I don't listen to much Shinedown, and it's not because I don't like them. It's just I've never...
Yeah, that's a fair analogy.
Never really just took the initiative to listen. And maybe I will now. Yeah. That's... I like doing lists with people because it, Shinedown, I wouldn't have went and listened to them, but maybe I check them out now. Yeah. Maybe somebody listening goes, I've never heard Shinedown, but, this guy right here says they're awesome. Let me check them out. So, all right. My number 6. Pantera.
I can agree on that one. That was on my honorable mentions too. I just didn't announce it.
That's fine. I mean, I think their style was really raw in most of their stuff. But then again, in some of their stuff, like Cemetery Gates, that song's just amazing. I
would give them points for combining thrash and groove and glam, because they were originally a glam metal band before they found their groove with Cowboys from Hell.
Right. And their Suicide Note, Part 1, is amazing. Part 2 is okay, but Part 1 is amazing.
I can get you on that one, because I listen to songs like War Nerve. You know what War Nerve is? Fuck the World?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fuck the World, Yesterday Don't Mean Shit. Walk is a classic in my opinion.
Walk is amazing. Yes, and it was very sad what happened to Dimebag.
And Vinnie Paul.
Yeah. That was just ridiculous. That was people not just not caring, and
Yeah.
Mental health is a problem, and people should take that seriously. So, not to get down, but I do need to, it's very sad what happened to that band because they were amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Okay, we made it. We're at the top 5. These are the top of the list. Who you got at number 5?
I actually have Deftones.
Deftones.
Yeah.
I don't know much about them, but...
I would actually recommend checking out the White Pony album, Diamond Eyes, even the new album, Ohms. All 3 of those albums are really phenomenal in my opinion. I would also recommend Koi no Yokan. Because songs like Change in the House of Flies, My Own Summer, Be Quiet and Drive Far Away, Digital Bath, Knife Party, all those songs to me introduce just something undescribable. It's like the combination of opera with synth, with heavy bass and guitar work, and it's just it's magnificent. It's just hard to describe in general.
I think I heard them once. I think they were on one of the early Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was though.
Yeah, I don't either, but I want to say for some reason it was like the Tree of Might or World's Strongest, but I do remember.
I think it was World's Strongest. I think it was Tree of Might though.
It's one of those, but
Yeah, I don't remember.
my number 5, and again this is early because I don't listen to them anymore.
Yeah.
But Disturbed. Their Down with the Sickness album, hands down, was just mind blowing when it came out.
I can agree, and the Believe album was really good, and I think Believe still holds up today because their cover of Land of Confusion just rocks.
Yeah, their Believe album was good too, and he has such a good voice too.
Yeah, I can agree to that one. I will admit that the song Down with the Sickness doesn't hold up as good as it once did, but it's still not got off at all in my opinion.
Yeah, there was a lot of good songs off that one though.
Yeah, like Stupefied.
Yeah, Voices.
Yeah.
And then whatever the very last song, I don't remember the name of it, but I remember it's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Disturbed made my number 5. All right, number 4. Who you got?
And I don't think a lot of people know this band, but I just got to say Ginger.
I don't know that band.
Yeah, they came out in, I believe they came out in 2010. They're only 10 years old, but God, to me the lead singer's name is Tatiana. They're from Ukraine. She has one of the greatest vocals I've heard and one of the harshest screams I've heard. Like, she can keep up with like Slipknot and they even come close to Whitechapel in my opinion. Just in raw skill.
I don't know much about that band. Never heard of them, but I'll take your word on it. I might check them out. My number 4 is Iced Earth.
I don't know that one actually.
They are a very interesting band. I don't even know how you would describe them. Just check out one of their songs. They're I think I Died for You or Dracula. Both of those are really good songs. So just check them out. But I really like them.
Yeah, okay.
Moving. All right, we're in the top 3 spots now. Coming in at number 3. What you got?
I got Whitechapel actually.
I don't know that, man.
This is the one thing I gotta say is check out their newest album, The Valley. It is a harrowing tale of his childhood. It is depressing. It is dark, but by God, if it is not beautiful. And it has some of the best vocal, guitar, and drum work, along with Phil Bozeman's screams. It is just downright gorgeous, in my opinion, despite it being so depressing.
All right. My number 3. This part of the video is going to take a minute because once I say this, the conversation begins. My number 3 is Slipknot.
Yeah, I can agree on that one, actually.
Now, their first 3 albums, fantastic. Make, Feed, Kill, Repeat, Slipknot, Iowa, fantastic, in my opinion. After that, the waters got muddy. Stone Sour's influence came in. There's a couple of good songs for me.
Well, what about the subliminal verses?
Didn't really care for that one.
Yeah, I actually love the Pulse of the Maggots, the Blister Resist. Even Before I Forget and Duality wasn't bad.
Which album was The Devil and I?
That was The Great Chapter.
See, that was a good song. I felt like that had a really meaning. There had some feeling behind it.
Yeah.
Now, once we move past that and we go to their last album, We Are Not Your Kind. To me, that went back to their original sound closer than any other album. And I could listen to that from song 1 to the end of the album.
I can agree to that one. I actually did listen to the first album all the way through. I checked out Slipknot all the way through, and I can hear the difference between Slipknot and the subliminal verses. I felt a lot more rap in the first album, because I heard like Inside and several other songs there, and I felt like Corey Taylor really can rap really well, But I felt that was more of a thrash inspiration on "We Are Not Your Kind" more than rap.
Right. They just had the same energy that they used to have.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying there.
There was a weird placement of the song. I forget which one, but in between like two heavy songs, there was a slow song, and me and somebody else was discussing the album, and it just felt like a weird placement for that song.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it right offhand, but we were talking about that's like a song you either open the album with or you close the album with. So it felt weird being just in the middle.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
But that was just my opinion. But their last album, I think, was really good. And their first three, I thought, were just killer.
Yeah.
Angry music. So that's why they got number 3 for me. All right. Top 2 spots. Number 1, number 2. Number 2, what you got?
Actually, for me, Slipknot was number 2 for me, just because of the nostalgia purpose, because Venom and Ginger was the first 2 bands that got me more into metal in the first place.
Well, that's good. I mean, like we just talked about, there's, they have a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
Even some of their slower stuff is still, really good.
Yeah, because I still think, like, the Negative One is good. The Devil and I is a classic. I like Psychosocial as well. I think Dead Memories is a tad overrated, but
Yeah, there was a weird place for Slipknot that I think some other bands who aren't mainstream at first have in comparison. It's kind of like the band ICP.
Yeah.
Their first 2 albums were underground albums, and I feel Slipknot was the same. Their first 2 albums was really under the radar for a lot of people. But then with both bands, their third album, Iowa, hit. And then if you really look at it, so they had a song on Resident Evil soundtrack.
Yeah.
So then, people heard of them, started listening to them. Their fan base got bigger, and I think that's really when they started being mainstream. You started, hearing, a Slipknot song on the radio.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
So I think it was a weird time for them, but great band. I mean, can't really argue that number 2 for that band. It was close to me, but I had to go with my number 2 as Black Label Society.
I can agree. The River is a classic track from them there, and Stillborn is as well.
Yes, but they got others too. Suicide Messiah is really good. But the lead singer, Zakk Wylde, also used to be guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And earlier in the video, we were talking about Seven Dust. When I saw Seven Dust, they opened for Black Label Society.
Oh, okay.
Well, Dope opened for Seven Dust, which Dope is a great band too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dope opened for Seven Dust, who opened for Black Label Society, and Zakk Wylde played the national anthem before he started his set. And I know everybody says Jimi Hendrix national anthem, whatever. It was amazing, and then his whole set was amazing. I think if we did a top 10 guitarist, it would be hard for him not to be close to the top.
That's fair.
Because he is very good at what he does.
That's fair.
He's also very good at drinking, I hear. So maybe not anymore. He's getting older. But,
fair enough.
So that's their number 2. So now we're moving on. We're going to the number 1. So here we are at top of the list. Number 1, the creme de la crop. I don't think that's how that saying goes. But anyway, who you got?
Well, if you know me, it's a pretty obvious choice. Killswitch Engaged.
What? I thought it was New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, jokes.
Tell us why you like Killswitch Engaged so much.
I personally don't think they've ever released a bad album.
Wow, that is bold.
Yeah, I think every one of their albums, ranging from their self-titled and the very first in 2000 up all the way to Atonement, is perfect.
Perfect.
Because I'll admit, when they reunited with Jesse, with Jesse Leach from Howard Jones and released their first album. It was a little weak, but songs like Leviathan, Hate by Design was still a classic. And The End of Heartache is my personal favorite album by them in general. Because I actually say that my favorite song on there would be Rose of Sharon, just for what it represents. And the self-titled was really good too, along with As Daylight Dies. Like, I love all the Howard albums. Atonement was phenomenal. Cease and Desist was phenomenal as well.
All right. Well, I don't know much about that band, but it sounds like they're really good. I might have to check them out too.
Yeah,
I mean, I know of them. I just have never listened to them.
Yeah, along with Alive or Just Breathing, because that's the argument I hear a lot is Jesse better or is Howard better? And most people compare The End of Heartache to...
Is this their lead singer?
Yeah, they had two lead singers at the time because Jesse Leach had mental issues, so he had to retire for a short period of time.
So they replaced their lead singer?
Yeah, with Howard Jones. He's much more operatic.
Okay, and so you're telling me, this is clearly just, I'm getting this information for you because I don't know about this, but so they transitioned singers and didn't miss a beat because you said all of their albums were...
To me, they actually got better with Howard Jones. This is the constant argument is between Jesse Leach and Howard Jones. I'm personally a Howard Jones fan because I like his voice more than Jesse Leach.
Okay. Well, it's just that in itself is just crazy. Most bands, that's the kiss of death, basically, because the lead singer is pretty much the band because that's their sound.
Yeah, that is true.
There are a few bands that have done that. I mean, AC/DC comes to mind. They did do that, but a lot of bands, once their lead singer goes, the band is just kaput. So for them to transition from lead singers and not miss a beat, that's great. My number one is Danzig. So, if you know Danzig, the lead singer is Glenn Danzig. He used to sing for the Misfits.
Ah, okay.
So, once he left the Misfits, he formed his own band, and he's just metal to me. This is a big dude. He is a big dude.
Yeah.
That works out. He has just, I don't know, a Viking look to him. Long hair, and the music is just fantastic to me. Most people only know the song Mother, which is fine, But he has 777. He has Five Fingers Crawl. She Rides. I mean, just On Wicked Night. As you've heard in this video, most of these people, there were a few that I could name songs like this, but not many. And his voice is really good, and some of his stuff has a bluesy sound to it.
Yeah,
the 777 is a real, it sounds bluesy, but he still has his voice, his metal sounding voice to me. So that's why he came in at number one. And I think, being a part of the Misfits, a punk band, a lot of people, wouldn't think he could branch out the way he did. So that's why he's number one for me. All right, so this was our top 10 metal list. I appreciate Nick joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I hope to do more videos because this has been a real delight. We really dove into what I feel like metal is more than just screaming, as some people will say. People connect with this music.
Yeah, I really do. Most people actually find it really calming if you actually sit down and listen to it. It's more than just anger.
It is. I have found sometimes when you get angry and you will listen to metal, you'll actually kind of calm down.
Yeah, I agree on that one, because most people use it to work out and stuff, but I think it's more important to realize this is a great way to work through issues as well. Yeah,
sometimes, you just need to scream it out and, then work it out and you're fine. So, I do want to circle back on something because I feel like I did do an injustice when we talked about Black Label Society and Zakk Wylde being great guitarist. Let's circle back to Slipknot.
Okay.
We'll agree to disagree. Anybody can disagree with me, comment, I don't care. Joy Jordison is the greatest drummer ever in life.
That is true. I've only seen one other drummer outdo him. And he's a solo drummer, and he's been doing this for like 20 years. I can't remember his name, but there's only been one other drummer that outdid him.
Well, in my opinion, so when Joey left the band of Slipknot is also, I think their sound got different.
I can agree. I did hear a notable difference when Joey left, and even when they lost Chris Fiend as well, you could tell a small difference.
Right. I think when the core group of Slipknot, once they started leaving, the sound was definitely different.
Yeah, because
not worse, just different.
Yeah, because I think once Paul Gray died, it was just everything just started to fall apart a little bit, and everything just they had to pick up the pieces and rearrange it.
Right. So I did want to circle back because I felt like I did him a disservice because that is a great drummer. Now, a lot of people might disagree, but actually, everyone in Slipknot are great artists, instrument players.
I can agree with that one. The guitar, bass is phenomenal. Sean the
Oh,
Clown
yeah.
has great percussion, great timing.
Jim is. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Also, I heard you saw Slipknot live. How was that?
It was interesting, honestly, because we saw Behemoth, Volbeat, and Gojira before that.
Oh, so this was Knot Fest?
Yeah, it was Not Fest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like it really would have been a great show, though, because I mean, that's a lot of energy there.
Yeah, it was a lot of energy. That was the one interesting part there. It was interesting to speak because I don't like Slipknot. Probably wasn't the one that got the crowd the most hyped up. I would actually probably say that to Behemoth. Behemoth was a great opening band. The only thing I wish they didn't do is throw drumsticks and cymbals into the crowd because that ended up with a lot of people nearly having their nose broken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that wasn't the smartest decision.
I mean,
Which is why I'm glad Slipknot didn't do that.
what's more metal than that, right?
Fair enough.
All right. Well, I'm glad you joined me. As I said, we'll have to do more videos.
Yeah.
Hope everybody enjoys this video. If you do, comment, like, subscribe, all that good junk that I have to say. And of course, if you want to see Nick back, submit some top 10s that you'd like to hear him do with me. Or if you'd like to hear him do one with Sheena. I don't know what they would do, top 10 boy bands. Not sure Nick would be good at that one, but maybe. Maybe he's a closet NSYNC fan. Who knows? So, thanks for watching, listening, whatever. Have a good week.
Yeah.